All right, let's get into it. Today, we are tackling a big one. That feeling, you know the one, of just being totally overwhelmed by modern life. The stress, the pressure, the feeling that you always need to be doing more. We're going to break down some really clear, simple principles to help you get a handle on it all.
And really, everything we're about to talk about comes back to this one powerful idea. It's a reminder that, hey, while you can't control everything that happens to you, you absolutely have control over your choices. And it's those choices, the big ones and the small ones, that end up shaping your reality.
So why does it feel like we're all caught in this modern-day squeeze? Before we can talk about solutions, we have to get real about what the problems are. And honestly, I bet a lot of this is going to look pretty familiar to you.
Sound about right? I mean, think about it. We can feel totally alone even when we're supposedly more connected than ever. We're all chasing some idea of success that just leaves us burnt out. And that constant hum of financial pressure and the anxiety that comes with it, wow, it's a lot. It's real, and it is draining.
But here's where things start to change. This is the turning point, you know? This is where we stop just staring at the problem and start building our toolkit. The world out there might be crazy, but you get to choose the strategy you use to deal with it.
So we're going to start from the inside out. This first set of ideas is all about getting a handle on your inner world, building a solid foundation of calm that you can take with you no matter what's going on around you. And look, finding that relaxation doesn't have to be some big, complicated thing. It can be as simple as these 3 steps. Seriously, just taking a minute to focus on your breath, going for a walk to clear your head, or just sitting quietly for a bit. These aren't just taking a break. They're actual powerful strategies for managing stress.
Okay, now this is a really cool way to reframe a huge struggle for so many of us. We think of anxiety as this big, scary monster, right? But what if it's really just a sign of an internal deficit, a lack of energy and confidence? Now look at the flip side. Self-esteem isn't about becoming someone else. It's about recognizing the power and potential you already have. It's a total shift from focusing on what you lack to seeing what's already there.
And a big part of that is embracing what true maturity really is. And it's probably not what you think. It's not about acting like you have all the answers. It's actually the total opposite. It's about being open, staying curious, and being genuinely willing to learn from whatever life throws at you. And to wrap up this section, here's a super simple but incredibly powerful tool: gratitude. Just actively taking a moment to notice the good things in your life, no matter how small they seem, can completely change your perspective. It builds up your resilience against all that negative pressure.
Okay, so we've worked on that inner foundation. Now let's talk about how we build on that in our day-to-day lives. This section is all about the actions and habits that help you create a lifestyle that can weather any storm.
I love this because it shows so clearly that your well-being isn't about being perfect at just one thing. It's all about balance, right? You need to feed your creative side. You need to fuel your body with good food, and you need to keep your body active. These 3 things aren't separate checkboxes. They all work together to support your mind and your body.
All right, now we're going to turn our focus outward. We've got our inner game plan and our lifestyle habits. So how do we apply all this to those very real pressures of things like work and money?
Let's talk about money. You know, financial peace can feel like this impossible dream, but at its core, it really boils down to this dead simple formula. So much of our financial stress comes from comparing ourselves to others and trying to live up to some crazy expectation. When you just focus on this one core principle, making sure more is coming in than going out, you start to take back control. It's that simple.
And that exact same idea applies to your work. Instead of burning yourself out trying to compete with everyone around you, the real key is to turn your focus inward. What are your unique strengths? What's the value that only you can bring? When you focus on that, that's where real confidence comes from.
So we have covered a ton of ground, from what's going on in your head to what you do every day. Let's pull this all together into a really practical toolkit that you can literally start using today.
And here it is, all laid out. If you're dealing with stress and anxiety, your strategy is to actively prioritize relaxation. If you're struggling with feeling inferior, your strategy is to build self-esteem by seeing the potential you already have. Worried about money? The strategy is that simple formula. And if you're feeling a lack of fulfillment, your strategy is to build that balanced, creative, and active life. See, every challenge has a choice, a strategy you can use.
And that brings us right back to where we started. You are free to choose. You've now got a whole toolkit of choices right in front of you. So the only question left is, what's going to be your first choice to start changing the consequences in your own life?